technology is always a product of human choices, and different humans will have different blind spots. And if you give a small group of those people too much power to develop technologies that will affect billions of people's lives, inevitably that is structurally unsound.
Are AI CEOs lying to us? What you just heard was a clip from Karen Hao. She spent 5 years investigating OpenAI, and she has a kind of scathing expose in her brand new book. It's a very shocking investigation. She interviewed over 300 people, and half of them were OpenAI employees. Her findings are deeply disturbing, and I wanted to bring them to you. This is Strategic Basics, where we turn breaking news into business breakthroughs for you. This story may change how you think about AI. It certainly did for me. I'm Aurora Winter, founder of Same Page Publishing. I'm an award-winning author of 10 books, including Turn Words into Wealth, and my background is in Hollywood and also Silicon Valley. I do my best to bring Hollywood storytelling with Silicon Valley smarts and business and entrepreneurial expertise. But after Karen revealed some of the nasty underside of Silicon Valley, I'm feeling a little less excited about Silicon Valley, to be honest. Is Sam Altman one of the most masterful manipulators of all time? Let's take a look. In this episode of Strategic Basics, we've got 3 key takeaways that you need to know. Let's listen to this clip.
He is a once-in-a-generation storytelling talent. He is just able to really paint a persuasive vision of the future and to get people to really want a piece of that future.
So he's a once-in-a-lifetime storyteller. That really struck me. Wow. And he's very good at persuading people. So he can be a masterful presenter or a masterful manipulator. Let's keep digging into the story and find out which one of those might be more true. But what was chilling about Sam Altman and her exploration is that his employees said that they had no idea what he really believed. Apparently, he would agree with people and they would leave the meeting thinking that Sam Altman had the same views that they did. So, of course, they followed him. But that only works when you're speaking with people one-on-one. And it is kind of shocking that the CEO of a $300 billion company still leaves his employees uncertain about what he actually believes. She interviewed people who said, oh, Sam Altman believes this, because that's what they believed. And other people who said, oh no, Sam Altman believes the exact opposite, because that's what they believed. Okay, takeaway number 2 from Empire of AI by Karen Hao is that there's an empire building going on here that we haven't seen basically since the age of slavery. And yes, that is kind of the energy that some of these things, some of these dark tactics are happening, especially on a global scale. And that really was something I was not aware of. I wonder if you knew about this. Anyway, listen in and let me know in the comments what you think. What are your biggest concerns about AI, about OpenAI, about Sam Altman? But one of the things I was shocked to discover is that she presents a picture of AI companies really thinking of the entire globe as a resource to exploit. Where can we put this? Where can we put that? Where can we get the money? Where can we do that? And thinking of the whole thing like a big board game. But unfortunately, in this board game, there are the rich people who have the power, and then there are the poor people to be exploited. Or that's how it appeared to me. She told some quite disturbing stories. For example, in Kenya, where people were manually trying to code all of the violent or sexual or abusive content that they didn't want AI to be spewing out. Well, of course, we don't want AI to be spewing out horrific content, but human beings were cataloging this actual content and saying this is sexual, this is abusive, this is violent, whatever the case may be. But the human beings who were doing this were hired in Kenya because they were very affordable. And apparently it was so traumatic that they developed PTSD, their personality would change. In fact, one man stopped having sex with his wife, stopped playing with his children, and he was told by his wife to go out, please, and buy some fish for dinner. He went out to buy 3 fish, one for himself, one for his wife, and one for their stepdaughter. And when he came back with the fish, she was gone. She had packed up, taken the child with her. and left a note saying she had no idea who he had become. His personality had completely changed. So that seems unnecessarily cruel to me. Anyway, maybe I'm innocent and naive. Let me know in the comments if I am and suggest something else. But I was shocked to discover that. She told another story of another country and another kind of seemingly unnecessarily cruel exploitation. So in Venezuela, when people were going through an economic crisis, again, people were hired to do certain jobs. But I was shocked by how the jobs were offered or delivered. They were offered on a post, and in seconds the jobs would be grabbed. If you weren't there pressing on the keyboard, grabbing that job, it vanished, and maybe you wouldn't get enough money to pay for your rice or your fish or whatever you needed to make your basic meet your basic needs. So this one woman who was working out of her home, she was suffering from diabetes, so her health was not strong. She realized, she went for a walk one day, a job pinged in, she ran home as fast as she could, but no, by the time she got there, the job had been snatched by somebody else, and she was not going to have the money she needed to cover her basic needs. So she stopped going for walks because she couldn't afford to miss the job opportunities. And it was a very stressful kind of way. Like, you had to be constantly looking at your computer. She actually designed a little thing to make it sound and go off. So quick, anyway, too much story, but I didn't see any need to set it up in such a way that would be so hard on the people. Yes, hire people, yes, and even hire people overseas if they're less expensive, but do so in a way that's humane and not unnecessarily creating stress and trauma. A third story, this one closer to home. So in Arizona, I used to own a house in Sedona, Arizona. I love Arizona. It's such a beautiful, beautiful place. Love Sedona especially. It's absolutely gorgeous. You should visit if you haven't been there. But as anybody who has visited Arizona knows, it is a desert. They don't have lakes. They don't have. They're not oceanfront. So water is extremely short supply. Anyway, the AI companies wanted to build another plant, and of course they said, hey, all the local construction and all the taxes and all the benefits, but they failed to mention the very important detail that they required drinking water to run the plant. After it was approved, the local politicians said, hey, if I'd known that the plant required fresh drinking water and so much of it, when we have not got enough for people to drink, I would never have approved it. So this is another issue. Karen Hao explaining it. Let's take a listen.
Successful people build companies. More successful people build countries. The most successful people build religions. And then he reflects on that quote in his blog saying, it appears to me that the best way to build a religion is actually to build a company.
Wow. So that's pretty powerful. Successful people build companies, then countries, then religions. And then the best way to build a religion is to build a company. I guess my biggest takeaway overall is her point that AI is changing so many things. It impacts billions of people. And is it really safe to have all of this power and all of this money and all of this control in the hands of very few people? Because every human being has blind spots. And so we as a collective need to pay attention to what's going on. So I thought that was a very good point. All right, so this is not just a Silicon Valley problem. This is a business leadership problem. Here are 3 actions you can take to protect yourself, your family, your business, and build a better world for all of us. First, when you are operating in your business as a leader, manager, owner, founder, entrepreneur, be sure that you're building real value and not just hype. You know, it should go without saying, but it seems as though there can be a lot of hype, especially in Silicon Valley, where they raise millions or billions and then the company crashes a couple of years later. So solve real problems for real people and avoid the whole fake it till you make it. That is not the way to go. Second, we can all fight back by asking questions, by being informed, by reading her book, by following strategic basics. Yes, like and subscribe. We want to help you stay informed with breaking news and then turning them into actionable business insights. And then the third action step is to just question when people seem far too passionate and frothing at the mouth. So question when people get all swept up. It's kind of scary what can happen when things go too far any one way. So avoid echo chambers, especially Silicon Valley echo chambers, or even the echo chamber in your own head or in your own business. Make your business decisions based on evidence, based on science, based on data, not on hype or FOMO. Okay, to wrap this episode of Strategic Basics up, messages move markets. Make yours matter. So this has all been sharing what I think from the research that I've done. The episodes, the research is all in the links in the description. I invite you to watch the full interviews and dig deeper into this story if you like, or maybe read the book Empire of AI and let me know if you're going to read it, and let me know what you thought, or let me know if you've already read it. I'd love to know. So your words have power. As we've seen, Sam Altman has created a $300 billion company through the power of words. So never underestimate the power of persuasion. But of course, use your persuasive powers for good. Use the Force, Luke. Don't be Darth Vader. I'm Aurora Winter, founder of Same Page Publishing. This is Strategic Basics, where we turn breaking news into business breakthroughs for you.